Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something you do every single second of every day, usually without a second thought. Believing. It feels automatic, right? But what is actually happening inside your head when you decide something is true?
So let me ask you this. Just think for a second about a really simple belief like, there's water in the fridge. What's going on in your mind when you think that? It seems like a no-brainer, but underneath that simple thought is a pretty incredible mental process.
Okay, to really unpack this, we've got to start with the absolute basics. There's a whole field of philosophy for this stuff called epistemology, and according to them, belief is the bedrock, the foundation of how we make sense of pretty much everything.
So, at its very core, a belief is your mind taking a stand. It's you, mentally, saying, yep, I'm accepting this statement as true. You're giving a mental thumbs up to a proposition, whether it's the sky is blue or coffee is delicious.
Here's a great way to think about it. This is what's called the representational view. All of your beliefs, taken together, form this giant, sprawling mental map of the world. It's the map you use to navigate reality, to figure out how things work, and to decide what to do next.
Now here's where it gets really, really interesting. Even if you believe something with every fiber of your being, that belief is not the same thing as knowledge. And this is probably one of the most crucial distinctions in all of philosophy.
This chart lays it out perfectly. Look, for something to be a belief, you just have to accept it. That's it. But for that belief to level up and become knowledge, it has to clear two very high hurdles. It has to actually be true, and you need to have a good reason, a justification for believing it. You can believe false things all day long, but you can't know them.
And this quote just nails it. You can't know something if you don't believe it first, right? Belief is a required ingredient. But, and this is the important part, you can believe all sorts of things that are nowhere near being actual knowledge. Think lucky guesses, misinformation, you name it.
So, here's the recipe. Knowledge is basically a belief that has been earned. It's a belief that has passed the test. It starts with you, gets a stamp of approval from reality itself, and is backed up by solid evidence.
But let's peel back another layer. Because our beliefs aren't just a simple on or off switch in our brains. Nope, they're way more nuanced than that.
We hold our beliefs with different levels of confidence, what philosophers call credence. For instance, your confidence that your favorite sports team will win it all might be kind of low. Your confidence that it might rain today could be medium. But your confidence that the sun will rise tomorrow, that's about as high as it gets. And ideally, how strong our credence is should match how strong our evidence is.
Beliefs also come in different modes. And a current belief is one that's front and center in your conscious mind. Right this second, you have an current belief about what I'm saying because you're actively thinking about it.
But on the flip side, almost all of your beliefs are dispositional. They're just stored away, on file, ready to be pulled up when needed. You weren't actively thinking about your own name a minute ago, but you absolutely believed it. It's part of your mental furniture, always there in the background.
Okay, so if we've got all these different kinds of beliefs floating around in our heads, where in the world do they come from? Let's take a look inside the mental factory.
Well, the experts say there are four main assembly lines. We get beliefs from our senses, what we see and hear. We create them through reasoning, kind of connecting the dots between other beliefs. We get a ton of them from testimony, which is just what other people tell us. And finally, memory is what keeps the whole operation running.
Now, it's really helpful to think of memory not as a factory that makes new beliefs, but as a warehouse that stores them. It's the giant hard drive for every belief you've ever picked up from your senses, your reason, or from what someone's told you.
And let's zoom in on testimony for a second, because this one is absolutely huge. For pretty much all of human history, our default setting has been to just believe what other people tell us, especially if we trust them. You don't perform a complex logical analysis when someone gives you directions, right? You just believe them.
And that natural tendency, that heavy reliance on testimony, brings us face to face with one of the single biggest challenges for our brains in the 21st century. Because the very nature of testimony is changing, and it's changing fast. Think about it. It used to be that testimony came from another person, a parent, a teacher, an author of a book. But today, more and more, the testimony that's shaping our mental maps is coming from non-human, algorithmic sources. Search engines, social media feeds, you name it. And here's the real problem. These digital sources are often opaque. That's just a fancy way of saying they're a black box. We type in a question, and an answer pops out. But we have no idea why we're seeing that specific result. We can't see the biases, commercial or political, that are baked into the code that's feeding us information.
This new reality means we all have a new kind of job, something philosophers call epistemic responsibility. It's the idea that, in today's world, being a rational person means you have a duty to be more critical, to question your sources, and to try your best to understand the hidden forces that might be shaping what you believe.
And that leaves us with this final, crucial question. In an age where invisible algorithms are helping draw the maps we use to navigate the world, what does it mean to be a responsible believer? What is your responsibility for what you believe? That's a question that's more important now than ever before.